Hi, and welcome back. So we're continuing our skirmish game, Starlight, and we're going to have a more detailed look at how the combat works and the dice systems that we're going to use. So I was trying to think of a name for this. I'm going to go for Intimidation Combat. So Intimidation Combat System. So in So we said that there'll be like an intimidation, a standoff section to it, and also a battling section. The idea is that uh, you stand off and you see who is the most confident and has the leader, the how to put it, emotional lead. And to do that, you roll when you're within striking distance. So that is your move plus your weapon range. Sure. Then you roll two with yourself and an enemy. Then you roll 2d6, a white and a red. The white is going to be it's going to determine who has the emotional upper hand. Okay. And the red dice will be your reaction. So commitment reaction, you could call it. So this will be a versus dice. And right. And if whoever gets this one rolls the red one will count towards their red dice on one table, and there'll be another table also for the red dice for the one who lost this contest. So on a 1 or a 2, what I am thinking is this means that you're very uncommitted to the attack. In fact, you don't want to attack. The character in question doesn't want to attack, but you can move freely. So on a 3 or 4, these will change as we get more balanced, try it out and see how it works. But just so we have something to play test. So on this one you can move freely, and you can also make a demand. So drop your weapons, back off, that kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that they have to accept it. Well, think of how that might work exactly. 5 or 6, a hesitant attack. Then on a hesitant attack, it's like you like do a little jab or do a little swing. Not committed to the to a fight. This isn't you charge them and wrestle them to the ground. That is if you get a 7+, because there'll be things that you can do this, can do to adjust this. One thing is it's going to also be based upon how your characters feel about each other. So the feelings toward each other gives modifiers. To the red dice. So somebody who's, if you've had past history, if you've been injured by each other, if there's a story coming out between the two, then this will either be moved up or moved down. Like you'll probably have like a favour and a hate rating for each other. There will be, I imagine there's going to be ways to favour one another, to be friends with somebody of a different clan. Rare, but available. On this one, on a 1 or a 2, you surrender. So you don't act against them. You basically just stay frozen, and then you have to follow the commands, the demands. So the attacker often wants this one, and for the loser to have this one. Attacker, defender, winner, loser. 3 or 4. You keep your cool. And then you can move at half pace. You can move towards them to close the distance on somebody with range, or you can move away, move and cover to break the line of sight and therefore break the standoff, or to move into a more advantageous position. 5 or 6. What we're going to do here. You're in a position to counter-attack. That's counter-attack. That's if they attack you, you can also strike them. And of course, the standoff wouldn't really matter if we don't have a fighting system whereby, well, the natural result of the standoff happens. So, striking, fighting, whatever we want to call it later. So, we said about 3 different levels of weapon. We need to, maybe we could just follow the Warhammer version, strength, toughness, against each other. Yeah, this one I haven't figured out yet. I think when we get to this section, we can split out the weapons, not by category, but be a bit more specific. Which ones cause what kind of damage, how much damage. Don't want to add too much detail to that, due to I want the focus to be on the motivation of the attack. So let's just pick one for now. So you roll the 2 dice, you find out whether you make a motivated attack, or an all-out attack. So now I think this has to be a attack stat versus a defense. And then obviously armor will give you a strength bonus. Weapons will give you an attack bonus. Very understandable. Then the difference will be the amount of harm that you inflict. So from this we can, and then we'll leave it at that for how the strike works. So when you're in melee, defense will be your defense skill plus your armor. And I think in ranged, it's simply your armor. But maybe some bows and the like will have very little attack bonus, and yeah, armor will have a very good bonus. So that using bows doesn't immediately just cancel this out and then is too good. But we need to figure out some stats based upon how our system is going to work. Like for our characters, we need to determine their move, like so that we know how far they can strike, and also for how they can maneuver around the table. And then they're going to need one for the white dice. We're going to call this let's call it aggression and cool for now. Not so keen on how these words feel. We'll work on it, and I'm not sure we need these ones if actually we don't, do we? If it's just a straight dice roll. So yeah, we don't need that. There'll be ways to think through skills. You'll increase or decrease them. And so for attack we need an attack skill and a defense skill. And we also need hit points. So we said for the weapons, casual, like improvised weapons or things that you carry around, utensils, like a knife, for example. Self-defense. We want, and what was the last one? War weapons. We're going to playtest with just these ones for now. This one has an attack bonus of, this should be, I think 2, 4, and I suppose 6. We'll work on it. And so that's going to be the bonus to attack. And so the defense bonus is going to be, I'm going to say half armor and full armor. And what kind of weapons and armor you're carrying is going to depend on how much you can carry, which will have a big impact, because this depends on how many resources you can take away from the battle. So we're thinking of, a 2, 4, or 6 plus a d6, so we'll say the average is going to be 4, 8, and 6. So we shouldn't make it so that it's impossible. So a defense bonus, we're going to say like it goes up to 3, let's say. 1, 2, 3, and 1 until 3. So that is defense bonus is a maximum of so what's that? 9, 10, 11. So half armor, well, full armor, let's say, is going to be 9. So we want this to be, was it 9? So I'm getting a bit confused here. So we wanted them to, even a casual carry on a 6, to be able to hit it. So that is 2 plus 5, that's 8. 8, that's 9. So we're going to say this gives a bonus of 6, this one of 3. And I think I've got enough to make a playtest. I'll see how that works. I'll set that up sometime soon. So until then, bye.